Ready? Begin. Like this.
Oh! And we're back to a very special Between the Cheeks Boss Bus Fiasco subgenre extravaganza with the one, the only, the returning guest, Moose Mario himself.
What's up?
How's it going?
But
I'm going to clean this up.
It's going pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Anything exciting in the works or anything you've been looking forward for?
I'm just getting just working on a bunch of different mixes to start sending out to festivals and groups and stuff like that. Since everything's starting to
festival
pop back
season's
up.
getting ready to start, but it's gonna be like a fall one, which I'm kind of excited for.
Oh yeah,
Because
same.
layers, even one, you can have way more costumes. Two, it kind of cools you off while you're dancing, so you almost have more energy.
Yep.
Stuff.
And then when you're chilling at camp, you go home, go back to camp and throw a sweater on and
Yeah, and you sit
just
around the
chill
fire
out.
and you're not hot around the fire. You're like good temp.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's going to be very fun. I need to start putting together mixes too, because that'll be good to send out. I'm just excited for festival season in general, for a
Same.
festival to exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
It's been too long.
Are you going to Dance Fest?
I'm working on it. I haven't got my ticket yet. I'm also going to be hopefully getting my ticket for Lost Lands tomorrow if they're not already sold out.
Ooh. I need to go to Lost Lands too.
Oh, so do I.
Oh, that's going to be a good one. Wow. Well, today we do have a subgenre of electronic dance music to talk about. And I would say the best one that we could talk to would be in reference to your hat. Got Riddim? He does. He does have Riddim. So let's dive into it.
So I'm kind of a noob when it comes to that. What is if you were gonna explain it to a noob what Riddim is, how would you describe it?
So it's like dubstep, but without it has minimal sub bass to it, so it's not as heavy hitting
Okay.
as other dubstep songs or sounds would be like, and it has a repeative triplet pattern in there,
Okay.
either in the melody or in the sub bass or down in the regular bass. There's always that triplet pattern, so that's what differentiates the rhythm from other dubstep subgenres is that low minimal sub bass and that triplet pattern pretty much.
Cool. Okay, and what got you into it? Why do you like it?
I don't know. I think it comes off of because I first got into EDM with bass house and garage and that whole UK style of sound.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's just it reminds me of when I listen to Riddim, it reminds me of that that kind of style where it has that same repeat of kind of triplet style of melody or bass to it.
Mm-hmm.
Just over keeps it going.
Yeah, there's a trance part to the beginning, and then you have other stuff that are kind of thrown in above it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I was gonna say that too. I was thinking when I was just looking up stuff before you guys got here. I had a realization that the same trancey in psytrance, how you get into that trance state. Riddim has a lot of those same repeating patterns. It's just a different type of beat, but it's very much so you're just grooving.
Yeah, it's like a foundation for you to hold on to while this other stuff's going on.
Yep.
That's a good way to put it.
Cool.
And
That's
I
a good way.
I like how almost minimalist some Riddim is too, because it makes it really easy for you to do 2 songs at the same time or 3 or 4 and it to not sound insane or bad. It just works. Yeah. But that's really cool. When you find a really good double of 2 songs together and you're just you're just
vibing.
Doing the chicken head, just
You have the little parrot chicken head dance.
Exactly.
I love, yeah. Bird walks are the coolest. Why do they have to move their head every time they step?
Right.
They just bob their head and walk.
It just looks like they're just getting it every single time they're walking.
Yeah. What songs are in their head?
I
They
wanna
sing
know.
a lot, but
What does their actual head sound like?
We should figure that out.
Well, they do that music with like fungus now. Like they'll put like electrodes, or like a synth, and connect it to like some mushrooms, and they make these weird, like spooky, almost like psychedelic, like psytrance kind of sounds. Where it's like, and it's like these weird sounds that come out of the mushrooms. And he'll like cut. He'll be like pruning the mushrooms while it's going on. They like react to the touch, and like the cut is really interesting.
Well, that is interesting. I've never seen that. I'll have to look that up.
You can find it on YouTube. Just like look up mushroom music, or you might find psytrance there. But
you'll find the couple YouTube pages where all he does is he has a bunch of mushrooms and he has like a synth and he connects like electrodes to
the mushroom pile.
That's interesting.
I want to sample that.
Definitely.
That would be really cool. Yeah. I don't know. Riddim's kind of like, although psytrance is like very, there's like a lot to it, different things. There's a lot to Riddim, but it's more like less broad, I would say. I guess
it's kind of honed or like simplified.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it's more like simplified and just like it's like a pretty much like a very narrow
line in the sand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So like, what are some good artists? What do you guys vibe to when you're listening to Riddim?
I'd have to say like probably like my top Riddim artist would be like Ominous, OG Nixon. You know, I love Subtronics, how he mixes the weird and the heavy Riddim together. Same with Boogie T.
Okay.
You know, just guys like that. Who else they got? There's just so many of them.
Okay.
I'd agree.
You know, there's Subfiltronic if you want to go old school with it.
Oh, he's so good.
There's Shivers too.
Okay.
You know, just all those guys.
It's crazy because in the psytrance, I knew like one of the artists, and in this one, I'm like, oh yeah.
See, I'm on the other side of the coin where I'm just like, what is this?
I'd say, yeah, I really like I love all the ones that you've said, but like Infect is another really good one.
Yeah.
It's Infect, but with a K instead of a C.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. I don't even know what I'd classify Murata as, because he's like,
he does like Riddim. He's like he does do like Riddim stuff, but it's like also kind of like death metal-y, and like kind of like
heavier,
it's like super heavy and dark.
Wasn't Riddim already heavy? Like just because it comes, I feel like if it comes out of dubstep, it's got that kind of crunchiness to it.
Oh yeah, but this is just like off the wall, just like heavy. You just want to just like break everything and then just like literally pit out and moshing. Just throw down. That's what it makes you feel like.
I can get into that.
Dude, it's like it's hard for me to even play some Murata music in my sets because it's like impossible to dance to, because it's just like like machine gun sounds, and then just like
just so heavy and just like so much different. Like he just adds so many layers to it.
It's insane.
Like he just has heavy snares. He'll have like a heavy bass line that sounds like a machine gun going off, and then on top of that he has just like a high screeching noise on top.
It's almost like Psycore at that point.
It's just gnarly.
Yeah, that reminds me of like Psycore. Like Psycore is like a type of psytrance where it's just super fast and just like weird, and the thing's super broken up, and it's just like chaotic sounds coming in. And you can't really dance to it, you just kind of bathe in the sound.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. You just gotta just sit there and just like, damn, this dude's going in.
Yeah. Like I can't headbang to this, or otherwise I'd be like,
yeah, your head will come off.
Have neck problems in the morning.
Right. But he's really good for whatever genre that would be. He does well. Monks is like, I'd say more mainstream.
Oh yeah, Monks is definitely
another
one of those UK Riddim guys that also does like bass house stuff too. A lot of them will do like bass house, like the Gentleman's Club. Those guys, they used to be like separate, and they did a lot of Riddim stuff, and then they like teamed up, and then now they just do a bunch of house stuff and garage and all that kind of good stuff.
They are really cool. I like that there's 3 of them too. It's like way less common to have a trio besides like BTSM.
True. That's the only trio I could think of off the top of my head that's still going.
Mm-hmm. And they're cool.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen them yet, but I love their masks and their music. But the fact that they look like tigers, about it.
their stages look like a tiger too. A couple times, but I've seen them like twice, and like one of the times they made their stage look like their helmet, so it was pretty cool.
Sweet. That's fun.
Damn.
So how new is Riddim? Like I don't remember hearing about Riddim like 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't hear anything about Riddim, but it seems like it'd be more popular than like dubstep nowadays, at least in our circles. Like how early is like the first Riddim, or like when did it first kind of become a thing?
It started becoming a thing in like 2010 is when it like kind of like started like making waves. Really was around then, and then ever since then everybody's just been like falling in love with the sound and just building upon it, and just having it just stack on up.
Okay. I saw that too. Yeah, like around that time. I saw that it was mainly like from the UK too, which is really interesting.
A lot of it came from the UK. It branched off of the UK dubstep sound and the UK house sound, and kind of like joined forces, and bam, there's Riddim.
Interesting. Riddim.
And where does the name come from? Does anyone know what Riddim means, or
like an artist or like something like that?
Well, like the word Riddim is like Jamaican
for rhythm. Okay.
It's not really like Jamaican. It's just like, how it's pronounced.
Like the vernacular.
Yeah.
Riddim. Okay, so rhythm, that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't that in my head. That's how far off I am from this kind of music.
And then some of them, a lot of like early Riddim sounds kind of like made the had the reggae kind of feel-ish to it.
Okay, with like more like tropical
kind of like sounds with like the beats and things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's interesting.
I literally didn't even know what Riddim was until it was like 2018 or 2017, and Danny Sozin, I don't know if you know him, but he had a Valentine's Day card, and it said, "Will you chop my Riddim?" And it was a picture of his face, like bass face, and I was like, what is Riddim? I have no idea at all. Yeah. I'd heard it before, but I just didn't know.
Associate it as Riddim.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's very fun, and if you have a crowd that really likes the music itself, if they like Riddim, they will go very hard to Riddim.
Oh yeah, I love the Riddim crowds. They get so rowdy. It's so fun to play for them.
So it seems like it's almost kind of like the metalheads of EDM, kind of like attached to that.
Kinda ish.
Because it's like faster, but it's still got that grungy kind of like dubstep kind of vibe to it, and you can kind of get visceral with it in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Very crunchy.
Very crunchy. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
Crunchy.
Mm-hmm. But definitely gets you in that like trance state, or more so just like you don't want to stop moving because it's just like wah, 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 wah. That's a very poor impression, but it's
well,
it's something.
We could always play a track for the show, like into the mic or something. To maybe
True. I thought about that. I was gonna grab my phone, and then I was like, oh wait, it's doing it. Bet.
Yeah, we can always cut this, but just
what would be a good introduction to Riddim track that you could think of?
Good intro to Riddim. There's a Riddim tutorial by Bad Clat.
Is it on like SoundCloud?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds good.
Here, you can search it.
I also love the song Introduction to Riddim.
That's also a good one.
It's a classic.
It's like you start off. But yeah.
What is going on?
Oh, it's just...
Did I not have it? I don't...
To me, it's just like hard to describe. I don't know. It's I guess it's easy to describe, but it's hard to like elaborate on, I would say. At least in my own head.
Yeah, in my head as well. You just like, it's just because like we know what it is, and you're just like trying to like say it, and it's just like come out as like mush.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, that didn't really sound right, but it sounded right in my head.
Yeah.
I know when I see it, but I can't describe it.
Right, like Psytrance, it's like
That's the sound.
Yep, Riddim, it's the beat. It's harder. But yeah, I'm glad you're here also, Moose, for season 2. Glad to have you back on. We are also, a quick thing while we're getting this track, we are playing a show this weekend at Reverb Lounge. So Friday night, check it out. we'll be playing with Voyager sounds, so it's going to be very fun.
Oh yeah, it'll be tons of fun.
And this is going to be the music.
Hey kids, today we are going to make some riddim. First up we need a simple drum pattern. A kick, hat and a delayed clap should do the job.
I like this.
Sick, you got it kid. Now lay down some twisted gully sounds and shut down the motherfucking door.
Nice.
Jeez.
Okay. And I'm gonna fade out from there. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
That's Riddim.
That I mean, I've heard that before. Now that I've heard it, I'm like, okay, I know what that is now.
Yeah,
So like up to this point, I was like, I think I know what this is. Trying to pin it down.
But that was what was the name of that song? That was Bad Clat Riddim Torturial.
I guess that might be a good place to start if it's a tutorial. If you're looking into getting into it.
Yeah, Riddim tutorial, introduction to Riddim. Both of those I feel like would be solid contenders to get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you see what I mean with that? Just like
Yeah,
it's like
heavy.
a constant. It's like almost drony, but like
Yeah.
unique.
It's
in-
wavy, like it just kind of like waves crashing, like din 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 din, and then the wave of like the crashing of the wave.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And it's less like whereas like big like thick dubstep is just like bang bang bang.
Yeah.
It's more just like wing.
Yeah, it's
wing.
smoother in that way. It's still heavy, but it's a smoother, a cleaner cut than like a rusty kind of dubstep where it's like choppier, you know.
I don't know. I'm just.
That's a good way.
I'm
to
trying
put
to.
That is a good point. To put it.
it. I'm trying my best here too. It's not easy.
Yeah. So what got you into playing Riddim? Like, what was that like the first stuff you DJ'd, or did you DJ before that, or like what was your?
So when I first started DJing, I like did like a lot of like future bass, like chill, mellow kind of stuff, and then I like went into house, and then once I got into like house, that's where I kind of like built my name up pretty much here locally, and then I just like. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I love dubstep and stuff like that too, so I'm gonna go ahead and do dubstep. And then once I started playing dubstep, that's just
the next evolution.
that's just where it landed, and it's what I just fell in love with playing. And you know, and the crowds just
The crowd's like.
the crowd love it, and they just go absolutely crazy for it. And I just love the energy from the crowds when you know when you're just playing something gnarly and they just go hammer time on it.
I feel it. That's what you live for as a DJ, I assume. It's just when everyone's just vibing.
You can just see it. You can feel what they're displaying out there.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
It's the dream.
When you hear like even like a single audience member go like, "Whoa!" or something like that, you're like, "Yes."
It's like that's what all I wanted. It was just that one. Oh,
Like success. Like I did it.
Yeah.
it's like I can stop playing for the night
Yeah.
now.
Yep. It's the best feeling.
The victorious yop,
Yo,
as the
Poets would say.
Yes.
The
Amen.
poets of Riddim.
Oh,
Want that, yeah.
That's-
That's a good band
that's a
name.
really good.
If you're
Yeah, that's-
DJing the poets of Riddim.
oh my god.
poets of rhythm.
You put like poetry over the fucking. That'd be really fun.
That actually sounds great.
Dun, dun, dun. It's like there was two paths they posed in the wood as this thing's gonna. I chose the one less travel. That would be.
Dude.
I might be a rhythm DJ.
Dude, that's actually such a dope
I could
track.
do it.
That's
That
a
would be
dope
fun.
track idea.
That is a funny track idea.
Oh my god.
Well, I give it to you free of charge.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul.
I expect one day to be dancing to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So what's the future of rhythm? Like, how do you change it? Like, how do you change it up, or what do you add to it, or what would you want to add to it?
What people have done to it is just made it sound more like wonky, just like more weird sounding.
kind of like breaking it apart more.
Yeah, just like breaking it down a little bit more. And then things that have been popping up is just like what they call like future rhythm.
Okay.
So it's not as like dark sounding, so it's like happier sounding. So it's played in like seventh chords, like future basses.
Okay.
And you know, just have that happy sounding. So like that'll be like a lot of like newer like I'm probably butchering his name. It's like it's like Ulasil.
Mm-hmm.
It's like OOCIACIL.
Ulasil.
Yeah,
That guy?
Ulasil. Yeah, he's
Okay.
a lot of his newer stuff he's been making is a lot of that like future rhythm, and like this new dude, if you've heard that like poly rhythm song that went around, Phonon, he does a lot of like future rhythm-y like tracks.
Dude, he's 17. Did you know that?
Wow.
Dude, he polyrhythm hurts.
It
Like
does.
I can't. Anytime I play it live, I've only played it like twice live ever because I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna love this, but like you can't dance to it.
Yeah.
Like I've tried.
It's impossible.
I've tried a lot of times. But I bet Robert could, if anyone could. Like Robert Cunningham, he would probably be able to dance to polyrhythm.
Yeah.
Music major.
He can dance anything.
He could. This is true. That reminds me, didn't you bring Robert out to Sacred Earth?
No, we brought him up to Geologic. Which was
Geologic.
like another side party. And he was right in his element. It was fun. Like he was basically outside of our group for half the time, and just like we'd look over and he would just be on the floor, like the other side of the dance floor, just doing his own thing in his own head. It's really cool. I miss that kid.
Dude, same. Kind of off topic, but on the same vein, we went to Dance Festopia with him. And one of the days, so like we couldn't find him for like 7-8 hours, and it turns out he like lost his wristband, was stuck out in the parking lot.
Oh, God.
Somebody threw a wristband over the tall fence to him so he could use it and get back in, and like traveled the entire like just was traversing
That's
for
just
like
like a
7 hours.
typical Robert, though. Like, that's just exactly what would happen to Robert. He's gonna lose his wristband. He's gonna be stuck out there. He's gonna have to. That's a classic Robert.
Right. We found him. We found him like near the main stage, laying on the ground, just like basking in the sun like a lizard. Like 7 hours later, and he was like, "Hey," and we were like,
Yeah, he's just like
"What
chill
up, dude?"
about it. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this happened. That's
Yep.
life. I love it.
Crazy.
That's funny. Dance Fest was fun last year.
Dude, I missed it. I haven't gone to Dance Fest since 20.
Well, not last year, but
Oh, yeah.
the year before.
The last time.
The last time they had
R.I.P.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna say last year for 2019 all year,
Yep.
because the last year was kind of a blip. So
Yeah.
everything you're referencing is gonna be back in 2019. So everyone's gonna use last year as a 2-year thing.
It's
Yep.
gonna be weird.
2020 just didn't feel real. It felt very real, but also like the timeline.
Yeah.
It just everything
Yeah.
was mushed.
It's the
Nothing.
best thing. It was either really like fast forward or slowed down. Like sometimes it was like it depends on how you're thinking about it. Like sometimes it was like, oh, it happened in a blip, but also it seemed like fucking 4 years at some points. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's weird how that time warp works.
Right? Like I'd say like March when it first started, like quarantine first started, and we battened down the hatches. That to like June felt like forever, and then everything past that, it just was like we're just waiting.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah, we're it's the anniversary of the 15 days to stop to flatten the curve. So,
Well,
Look where we're going.
Yeah.
we're almost there.
we're almost done with the 50
Oh.
days.
yep. Oh boy, it's been a long 15 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what else about Riddim? What is
Another thing. What's something unique? Like what? I don't know. I'm trying to think because I don't know about Riddim. I was wondering if there's like what's another thing we haven't talked about Riddim.
I mean, I'd say we've already kind of touched on it, but one of the most unique aspects of it is how you can like layer 4 tracks at the same time and it still sound like really good. Like one of my favorite things, you can literally just like, and it's why they call it like chopping rhythm, because you're just like wah, wah, and you can literally
Just going
switch
back and
and forth. Like it's so much fun too
Because
if you
the
do it
bass
right.
is so foundational that it's always there that you can just swap out the icing on the
Mhm.
cake.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty
That's
much.
a good way to put it.
That is a good way to put it.
Swap out the icing. Yeah, that's at least that's my like most unique thing I can think of, at least. Like that really is what I'd say sets it apart. You can mix other just like dubstep songs. You can do that, but it doesn't have the same cohesiveness, I'd say.
Yeah, you'd have to like really like search and like do your research on like specific kinds of dubstep to like get them to like match up perfectly. But with like Riddim, you could get like a track from Joe Schmo and then a track from Billy Bob, and then boom, you mixing them, and then you're chopping them
Billy
up.
Schmo.
And they're
Joe
just
Bob.
and they're just going.
Billy Schmo or Joe Bob.
And they're and they're just going in together. Just awesome. Because of that foundation. It's just
that's awesome.
Always there.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is there any unique facts you can think of?
I don't think so. I think we pretty much
It's
like
a good
got
little
it all.
overview.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely look up some of the artists they recommended if you guys are interested. I'm sure you'll hear it at shows in Omaha if you come to them.
Yes, if you come this coming Friday to Reverb Lounge in Benson, you will definitely hear some.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So here's some fun things.
Definitely.
So like, I'd check out recommendation list would be like Boogie T, Subtronics, Infect, Subfiltronic, Monks.
And we'll put some links in the Facebook underneath in the comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
put a couple links.
Yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. And I'll put some in the YouTube too. Just like a few artists. Yeah, get some like introduction.
Intro like quintessential like rhythms like work.
I'll also link Polyrhythm in case you want to be in pain for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Be impressed but also be in pain.
Yeah.
So like the first little bit of it is just like, yo, this is really dope, and then once it like gets gnarly, you're just like, I have no idea what this is anymore.
That's fun.
He's a genius. He's an absolute genius.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's I think that's gonna be it for our little subgenre into Riddim. Thank you guys for checking this out. Make sure to check out Moose. We'll put his links in the description. Awesome dude. Check him out this Friday at Reverb Lounge. Thank you again for being on.
Yeah.
No,
It was much appreciated. Always great to have you on. You're an awesome dude. Thank you, Paul, for co-hosting.
As always.
And thank you all. And thank you to Synergy Nation Network for being our podcast network.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great night. Love you all.
Keep it real.
Good job, bud.
We did it.
we did it.
We did.
I'm gonna play